Hey everybody, Shay here. We're going to do a little bit of a retrospective. And by a little bit, I mean an entire series of it. Why? Because I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be fun to revisit some of the oldest videos of this channel from 9 years ago, the very inception of the channel. You'll learn a little bit of a history behind what has led to many of the changes around this channel. It positions me in a way to be able to speak to how channels evolve over time and how content creators evolve over time, how communities evolve over time. And instead of just throwing away a channel, as was an option on the table for sure at one point, just because I started so many other channels to validate and try things and explore what I wanted to do with content creation and the kinds of experiences I wanted to share with folks out there. And this whole channel started as that. It was explore, engage, and inspire. It was a vlog channel to begin with. So I can give a little bit of context and behind the scenes stuff here. We'll also be watching some of the privated videos along the years. I'll do a reaction to the video, but I'll cut away at stuff, right? So that I can just key in on the moments that I want to revisit. I wanted to see what I was saying 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, etc. And how that might have changed over the years. I want to see if I can remember some of those experiences along the way. I want to be able to have this milestone of a retrospective, if you will, of this content and of my journey through this channel. For those people curious about the channel but not wanting to go through like 200 vlogs worth of content in the last 9 years, right? I just want to be able to chop that up a little bit, provide some extra context. And of course, after this year, this channel will have been 10 years old, and who knows what's going to happen in 2026. But last year was all about me really taking many steps back for multiple reasons. But I wanted to take advantage of the fact that I couldn't be online and do and produce work to really think about what the mission statement was behind why I started this in the first place. And I never thought I'd be doing something like this, but I did wake up this morning and I thought, why not? You know, why not just kind of go back and just see if I've changed? I think I've changed, but I don't think I have changed. I think I've been saying the same things in life for the last 25 years maybe. So to give you an idea, I mean, here's the playlist, the very first playlist created on the channel, vlogs. Explore, engage, and inspire for XCI vlogs. And here's a list, and you can see many of these weren't on that previous page that showed the oldest of the content on the channel. A lot of these are the very early vlogs of before 100 subscribers or so, and there's about 38 of them if I remember correctly. Yes, there are. You can't see the bottom of this list here. There's a transformation that happens here, especially back in these old days, and I can get into these stories. We'll get to the vlog, so I can talk about it more there. But back in the old days, my old days like 9 years ago, no, it's like you had to get to 100 subscribers before you could even choose a channel name. Now you can just create as many channels as you want, and you can choose the name right away. And like I did 20 times in the last 2 years for tests and stealth channels and validations and just trial runs, because explore. Remember the keyword? Explore? Well, I did a lot of that. I did a lot of that in the last year or two, and I want to talk about what led to that moment and, you know, the failings along the way. And those experiences are actually, they can be positive because you can take lessons away and also apply them in different ways. You can learn about yourself along the way. A lot of what this channel and the alt channels provided me was a way for me to evolve in my real life job. This experience was very beneficial for the way that I conduct myself and have scaled in my work life. So I have nothing to complain about. My mission statement was personal to begin with. It became something else. It transformed into a gaming channel along the way. And then I got confused and thought about all the other stuff I loved and wanted to share. It became a variety channel. And then it's just a bunch of different signals sent me on many different paths. And some of them were bad, some of them were good, but not all of the bad or good is publicly communicated. And some of them won't be. Like some stuff that I went through during those years, they're for me, you know, but I can give some details as to things along the way. You know, ultimately, this is a persona I put online, even though I want to be as authentic as possible when creating content. My personal life doesn't always flow into the content that's produced online. So people can't really get to know me, and that's okay. Many content creators, they're not going to put all of themselves out there unless you're life bloggers or something like that. But even that, there's a little bit of persona you do have to kind of put in front of the camera, right, in order to be entertaining and succeed as a life vlogger, etc. But what I'm saying is that parasocial relationship dynamic that happens between a content creator and an audience, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But it still does have a barrier that very much is an illusion of reality, right? Like it's not everything is true and not everything is exactly as you assume it is. a lot of content creators that succeed, they're very good at being positive, even if their life is in shambles, right? Because they know how to create that persona to provide an audience with a method of escaping by vicariously feeding off of that positive persona vibes, right? Some people are very good at that. Some people are not. But sometimes some people get famous because they're not. And so all of these things are up to the algorithm and the audience and what the entertainment becomes and evolves into along the way. This is a very long introduction, but here's the thing. I think this is going to be not a very long series, but a relatively healthy length series. This is something I want to do as a project this year, because I think that even if this is a personal journey, like a sort of roundabout way to return back to the beginning to some degree, maybe the story of the journey becomes inspiring for other people out there who may have considered starting a channel but didn't know what the purpose was, or maybe you gave up too early. This lesson on this channel is that it's never too late to try new things, and not everything is going to succeed, and that's okay. Just take lessons from it and apply those lessons to your life in whatever way is meaningful to you moving forward in a more positive direction than you were going in before. And the public doesn't have to know all of the details behind that. Only you have to find the truth in that and be true to yourself along the way. So remember, not everything has to be a destination. The journey is important. I'm pretty sure I talked about that in one of the earlier vlogs. So without further ado, let's just try a few of them today. I don't know how long these episodes will be, but we're going to try to keep them relatively short. Thankfully, most of these videos are very short back in these old days. Maybe it's just because I was very introverted, and I wanted to kind of come out of my shell and express myself. And the way I felt like I could scale up those social limitations was by creating videos for an audience that didn't exist, that maybe would exist one day. And so here's a video that was uploaded on the 6th of January. Keep in mind, this channel had 0 subscribers when I uploaded this video. This was effectively the very first video that I uploaded to the channel. And so here's a video of me on my way to work.
XCI here.
That was weird.
XCI vlogs. We're gonna get a quick random thought in while I'm on the road.
Well, I'll pause it right now because the audio is atrocious. As you can see, first video, I'm in the car. I can, you can hear, you can barely hear me, but I'm just recording something to see how it feels. This is really me just testing out, hey, if I just on my way to work, I got half an hour, if I turn on the camera and start talking, how does it feel? How does it feel? Does it feel like something I would do? Does it help me communicate ideas, like a journal, right? Like nothing else. This is for no one. Remember, this is 0 subscribers still. So this is for no one.
Ooh, excuse. And it's a 2016 goal to do. So
now with the magic of AI, I can probably fix this audio so you can actually hear what I'm saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but when I unpause, we're gonna hear, like, I'm gonna be talking about a 2016 goal, which I'm revisiting. So I just want to hear it again. But I'll see if I can clear up the audio for all of you to hear this clearly from here forward. With a magical snap of my finger, AI will kick in.
Those don't
right
happen
here.
often, because I really want to keep up this vlog, and it's a 2016 goal.
So I was doing goals, this whole try to achieve lists for, I don't even know how long. I've been doing this now. I used to say 10 years, but I'm like, this was 10 years ago. This was 9 years ago, and I was already doing it. So it would have likely have been maybe 5 years before that. This was always something I've kept up. It's just something I personally do on the 1st of January. This channel was started on the 1st of January. Again, this is January 6th. And
I gotta find a way of making it work. I got to thinking about
Find the time.
People react to what people say or what they do or don't do.
You can see here, like, between the editing being terrible, the sound audio being terrible, me not really having my words together, and being nervous, self-conscious about communicating and expressing ideas. This was something I wanted to work on. You can see me struggling through it here to the point where it's a little bit cringe, for sure. I mean, it's gonna be a lot cringe maybe, but it's like, but I'm pushing through it. And that was really the goal here, right? Start recording, push through it, try to figure out your words as you go. I still do it today. It's just I'm less self-conscious about saying the wrong thing. I know I have the magic of editing that just chops out anything where I'm stuttering or I'm slipping up my words, or sometimes I forget words. Sometimes I say the wrong words. I catch myself all the time. I didn't know I was doing this in real life, but I was, because I'm recording myself for 9 years.
And you know, it's not always personal. And I think that's what's important for people to remember. Everyone's going through their own things. Everyone has problems in their lives that they're trying to deal with. Sometimes.
Now, I'm remembering back to why I might have been thinking about this topic on the way to work in 2016. Some stuff never gets communicated publicly, but life can sometimes be crappy, and it's not easy to work through that. But this was my way of dealing with it. Is I always try to find the center, not get so emotional about things. I'm usually a pretty chill, calm individual with everybody, but I do have a threshold, and this is at work, this is in real life, this is just when that threshold is met, I do explode, and it's something that could I communicate better instead of exploding the way I do? Yes. But here's the thing, is like I'm 99% of my year, I'm pretty chill and everything's cool. And I suppress a lot of the stuff that could trigger me because I suppress it. That sounds negative. Like I can neutralize what might trip me off, right? But I can kind of recenter myself, think about things objectively, just write them down so that I'm not feeling things out. I'm thinking things after I feel them. What am I trying to say? Like there's the thing that happens, and then there's the story of the thing that happens. And the story of the thing that happens is usually what spins everybody up, and how you sort of ramp up your brain, become overly emotional, so that when you communicate, you're not communicating with logic, or that sounds terrible because you should express yourself, but at the same time, if it's ruining your day, kind of impacting you in a negative way, then there are ways for you to recenter yourself and sort of remove the story from the thing that happened. And then when you think of the thing as just a thing, it's a lot easier to deal with the thing. You don't have to go through the war zone of emotions. You just deal with the thing, and you realize it either matters or it doesn't matter, and you can just make a binary decision and move on with your life. And that's usually how I deal with things.
Sometimes people react or say things or do or don't do things that you expect them to do. But you have to remember that what you expect them to do isn't what they have to do. People can do whatever they want. You're only responsible for your own life, and you're only responsible for how you deal with things, how you react to things. Just remember, not always personal. Just get in control of your own emotions and your own reactions, and try to be sensitive to the fact that it's because they're dealing with something that they're not sharing.
Now, looking back at this commentary, it's kind of because I'm talking from a perspective of a 0 subscriber channel who's recording the first video vlog talking about anything that comes to mind, and this was the thing that came to mind. I didn't have the 9 years of web commentary along the way. I didn't have many of them, but there are probably half a dozen to a dozen things that have happened in the comments, situations, altercations that have happened in the comments, and it's not a lot. When you think of it, the big picture of this channel, and even if it's not the experiences on this channel, it's the experience that I've witnessed outside, like as I've been more like embedded inside this space. I've seen just interactions where I go, wow. Like you don't always know what someone is going through. So I like to just create a story around those kinds of people, and it makes me not react as snarky as I can absolutely get, because I always have that threshold. I always have a threshold. And there's a point where I do wake up in the morning and go, I'm probably going to get fired today. And then I communicate freely. And that's because that's actually worked in my favor. Now, be careful. That's very a risky move in the real life. But if you know yourself and you stand true to your integrity and what you stand for and what you believe in and what you say is truth. And so although I'm talking about the real life here, it applies to the internet, is I think the summary of what I'm trying to say, and I can just move forward.
We can't always know what people are going through, and who cares?
Oh, the point I was going to make, because I was like, I cut around probably 5 minutes of rambling there. Because the point I was going to make is like, what I'm saying is you never know. It's like in hindsight, it's like people will never really know what I was going through in the last 3 years. And what led to all the explorations along the way, again, for good or for bad, again, people don't know the full story, and they will never know the full story. But the point I'm making in this very first vlog is that this is for any channel, this is for any content creator, this is for anyone in the comments, right? We don't know what someone else is going through. But with content creators, sometimes people think that what they see is all that exists. No, that's not the case, right? And so there are always reasons, and that's for a psychologist to work on or a psychotherapist to define who cares? The point is that I felt like I took something away from this. It's funny that I can take a 2-minute vlog and somehow talk about it for over 20 minutes already. Fascinating development in the last nine years.
But people, they want to share, they can share. If they don't share, they don't share. The only person you got to be responsible for is you.
Accountability.
Figured why not? Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire.
That was still the slogan. It's always been that slogan. It was in the header at the time. It was probably in the outro here.
XCIO.
Let's see. I didn't even have an outro.
XCI here.
I didn't even have an outro. I couldn't even be bothered to put an outro.
It's this time of year again.
Imagine the days of when I had hair. I mean, it was already starting to give up on life. What am I talking about right now?
Oh snap! Check it out. This all happened
I
in the
remember
last
this.
10 minutes.
That was crazy. It's literally, I'm doing some work because I work just on the other side of this wall here. And everything was good. Everything was great. And then bam! Like, I looked outside and it was like, everything was white. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, the temperature isn't, like, it can't be that cold. When you live in Canada long enough, you sort of
10,
don't
15
feel,
minutes, maybe?
you don't feel the cold like other people. So, like, this wasn't cold for me at all, despite how terrible it looks.
You know, winter is not my favorite time of year.
It wasn't. I used to travel all the time, so we're going to skip ahead. Okay, so I just talked about snowboarding there. We don't need to, why I started snowboarding was trying to love winter, but it just wasn't enough. Like, I really didn't want to be in Canada. My God. So in hindsight, again, what happened in the last year, and again, this is a retrospective, so I'll give you some context as to, strangely enough, how this all connects back to the beginning. 3 years ago, I sold this house to move into this house, and I moved into an area that is a lot more woods. It's very spacious. It's very peaceful. I got 10 acres around me, so no one bothers me. That's the way I liked it. I got hermit lifestyle, baby. But something inside was still like, something's still not right. Now, the market here went crazy. I'm sure it did in America as well. I believe I heard that it's also been terrible around the world, like in Europe and stuff like that. But then 2 years in this house, and I was like, I gotta go. And when I meant I gotta go, is I have to go away from this. I did not want to be in the country anymore for multiple reasons. One of them was definitely the weather. I just wanted to go somewhere where I wasn't. I have this thing with seasonal. There's like a seasonal thing. Like winter for me is just dreadful. I hate the cold. I hate the cold so much that it makes me inactive for probably half of the day. I just don't feel like doing anything. I hate the cold so much. So I wanted to move again. And so literally on a whim, because I was renovating my house 1 month. And then a month later, I was like, no, I'm selling the house. And we're going to put it back on the market. But the market was atrocious. And then it had me frozen for 1 year as a staging home. All my stuff was moved out of the house. It was an empty home. Had some stuff that wasn't mine, of course. But all my belongings were in storage. And so I felt I started feeling a little hollow, to quote Dark Souls, you know. And it goes back to this comment where now I've like moved everything back into the house. And I'm finding a compromise to enjoy what I do have here, be thankful for the stuff I have here. I had some health things that came up that could have compromised me in ways that I had not anticipated. And so here we are, you know, like I want to make the best of what I have. And so everything's kind of come back to this and asking the question of like, but if I could move away for 4 months a year, could I do that as a compromise? The answer is yes. I just have to stabilize things here first. And then the plan would be that I find something, I reverse it. It's that I can be here for most of the time, but I will move away when it's cold, that kind of thing, right? And I got to find out what that means, but that's a project for another day. But I got to compromise and enjoy what I have here today. And so, creating content for the channel is one of those things. If I get to the 10th year, that sounds morose. If I want to continue things in the 10th year, I want this year to define that. I'm not going to try to take the reins at all anymore. Part of this retrospective is me kind of looking back and seeing what my goals were and then trying to find out if I can find a compromise so I can keep doing something while still searching for something, you know, because I do believe that we're all on a journey to find the thing that's meaningful for us to feel inspired, man, to want to create. For me, I'm a creator. That's where I come from. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. This is where I started. I got into data and I got into coding and I got into all that digital stuff because that's become my career. But that's not where I started, you know? And so I have the spirit of the creator inside first and foremost. And then I have what I need to do in life. But, you know, I'm getting older and I realize that the stuff that I've needed to do in order to have a living, it's sort of suppressed all the stuff that I used to love doing when I was creative. And I need to find the compromise to bring that back together. And so here we are. Let's keep going. Waiting for my Chinese food to arrive here. Oh, remember him?
Or engage and inspire.
Where's my dog?
Where's my dog?
There it is, yeah.
Where's...
Okay. Oh, Mogwai, rest in
This
peace,
is Mogwai.
little bastard.
Just turned 6 on New Year's. Let's go inside.
When you could still see and hear.
You know what this is? Bang.
Oh, this feels wrong to do now.
Oh, that was the laziest death ever.
That's right. And what? And what? What? A man can't eat this much food on
I ordered for a family of 4. That's what I do.
his own.
So full.
I was disgustingly full. I wanted to puke. I'm an idiot. But here we are. There you go. That was the original name of the channel. So you know, many might know it as actually iGaming for the last many years. And then it was like 3 years ago where I changed the name every month for about 6 months or something like that. I don't think it was that much, but it was like, we'll see it. We'll probably see the ending screens, and we could talk about how that all happened and why, but it doesn't really matter. As you can see right now by the name of the channel, we have, damn it, everything's busted. I have certainly made a decision. I mean, maybe many of you haven't even noticed that the name change happened, but it most certainly did. And one of the crazier things to do is, of course, change your handle. So the @XCI Gaming was one I was like, I don't want to lose the handle though. But I was like, no, it's a new year. And I always create the list. And if I'm going to hit a reset button, it's always on the January 1st week. Just because that's my trigger. You don't have to do something on January 1st. It's just like where for me is like, if I'm going to try something, it's for a year. And then that year ends and you got to go, did it work or did it not work? What do you want to do different? How are you going to transform? How are you going to evolve? You know, and you just write stuff down, work it out, and then you pick a new list. And maybe you have 3 or 4 out of the 10 things are to try something again in a different way. That's how I do it. In any case, the name was one of them. I was like, I got to let it go. I gotta let it go. If I want to move forward, I have to let it go. Because as long as I hold on to that, I'm always going to think that what I'm trying to discover is how to be a gaming channel. That's not the goal. If the algorithm wants me to do that because people are enjoying it, and we're all enjoying it, and it's all fun, you know, then I'm going to let the algorithm decide. That is where I'm at right now. But I need to have the journey of getting there again. Does that make sense? And so for me, it's like, I'm going to let it go. Because I have to. I have to. To move on, to move forward, you got to take the weights off. You know what it is? It's like if you watch Naruto and you got Rock Lee, you know, the moment. I might be spoiling. It was awesome for me because it was never spoiled. But he's already an awesome fighter, you know. He's very good and very confident at what he does. And then you find out he's been wearing ankle weights the entire time, like really heavy ankle weights. And so when he removes those, man, you know, he's amazing. He's even more amazing. And who knows what else unlocks. Because that's spoil me, Jesus. I should be talking about this right now. Listen, I'm just saying it's an inspiring anime. That's 7 years later. Let's just relax. Let's focus on the vlogs at hand. I'm at the 30-minute mark. Can I cut this into a 20-minute video? Probably. These 2 videos were private videos, and so there you go. I mean, you didn't see the full ones, and you can't access them anymore. I don't remember if they even had comments. Keep in mind that this was still a channel of 0 subscribers, and you can see really tiny there. Milestone, 1 subscriber vlog. Actually, let's check this one as the ending because it feels like the right way to end. And I'd like to see what I said here because of I think it's hilarious that I did this, and I remember why I did it. I do remember why I did it, but it was a joke for myself, and only I was laughing because it was 0 subscriber channel. Also, I want to talk about this intro real quick because I'm going to give you context as to what this video is before I start speaking.
Searching for information.
XCI. That intro was for the very first vlog series I ran before there was even a YouTube. It was 2004 to 2008. I was doing vlogs back in the day for Apple TV. I remember those, the video iPod. Remember those? I was in that area. Remember the Nokia N95? That's where I was doing videos before YouTube. I remember Dailymotion. I remember Blip.tv. I remember UBScene. There was so many different video platforms at the time. And I started a video media company that was recording things in HD 16:9 in 2005. And there was that was not supported online. Websites that ran videos, it was not easy like it is today. You couldn't just upload to a platform and then embed the code. There was like Windows Media Player, there was Real-Time Player, there was QuickTime, and then you had to have the toggles, and depending on what system you were on, you had to choose the toggle that was the media that you wanted to load. You had to export 3 different versions of the media, or maybe sometimes you had 3GP version for phones, the Nokia N95, which had videos, really small, really crappy videos, but you could watch videos on your Nokia N95 screen. I still have my phone somewhere around here, but the point is that this is not new for me in the sense of like I was cracking into the vlogging space when that was just starting up. So that intro video, it might have been like 3 times longer. Maybe it was just clips of me like walking around cities around the world because I used to travel a lot. And so wherever I would travel, I would do this travel vlog. I do meetups with other vloggers. I would check out landmarks, things like that. Learn about them. This is again early days of Wikipedia, so like to research something was actually more difficult than it is today. You can just use ChatGPT to tell you all the information you need. While I was traveling, I would read up on these things, and then I would record these 15-minute vlogs or something, 10, 15-minute vlogs or something. And so it was called Stray Dog XEI. So that's where, if you ever see me wearing a shirt where it has a dog with a stray dog, it's based on one of the paintings I did back when I was in my artist days. But it was Stray Dog was what this could have been called along the way. Stray Dog XCI. It's just me traveling and recording things from around places, just things, just experiences, meeting people, just talking, and I really love that. And back in those early days of making media for the digital space, right? Because there's no real like video social media thing. It was there, but it wasn't what it is today. I think it's very hard to understand what it was in 2004, but that 2007 era where they were trying to figure out how to make it mass adoptable, that was a crazy era to be in, right? Because you were literally making videos for Apple TV back in the day, and that's it. That was your option, So anyways, that was a bit of a deviation. Let's see what I'm saying about my awesome 1 subscriber milestone.
Here, just got home. My battery ran out in the car, so I wasn't able to film one of these on the way to work today. But I got to thinking about milestones in general. I mean, this channel is super new, right? But I've been watching a lot of...
I'm being serious here. I'm being authentic. Like, I was like, because this is there. Let's get some context. This video is still public because I think it's a hilarious video to have. It's January 11th. So on the 11th day of this channel's existence, 140 views. This is what I got my first subscriber.
Of milestone videos from the big YouTubers, 2 in particular, Markiplier and PewDiePie. I think I read something on Reddit yesterday about PewDiePie having something like 17 subscribers 7 months in, or something like that, 1,200 views, and Markiplier.
Good research, bro.
Very awesome guy, thanking his users when he reached 8,000 subscribers.
Look at that, 2012, huh?
Subscribers, and I mean now he's sitting at over 11 million.
What's he at now? I can't imagine. I mean, when I stopped watching Markiplier, not stopped because I stopped, I just like things moved on. Like I moved on, but he was at 16 or 18 million, is what I remember him at. I think that was in the era where PewDiePie was like doing the whole T-Series competition. Like he was trying to like the whole subscriber race or whatever that happened. I think that was like, and Jacksepticeye might have been, or it was something like Markiplier was at 18, Septiceye was at 13 million, 14 million, something like that. I actually still have playlists on this channel, they're privated, that it was me, I had hunted down all of their early milestone videos and put them in continuity order anytime they talked about their growth, and like, because the story of the content creator is what I've always loved to hunt down. No matter what their content was, if I knew that they were recording channel updates, I would create playlists for those channel updates so that I could hear their story inside those updates. And this was one way for me to feel inspired to want to create a channel. And remember that things take time. You have to be patient. You have to have a plan, but you have to be patient, and you have to understand what it is you're trying to discover and learn or evolve within yourself. And watching those early Markiplier and Jacksepticeye videos really did help. I think, let me scroll down real quick. You can see like there's some links here to the videos. Now, you know what I found over the years is that I've got a lot of these are dead. They've been privated along the years because my playlist has blanks in them. I stopped checking in on this somewhere around the 2019. I stopped adding to these. But maybe I should do that again, to some of the other like starting creators out there, just to kind of maybe get re-inspired again about the story of people, and to remember that everyone has moments where they go down and when they refine themselves and then when they take off. And it's almost like a hero journey within the content creator's experience itself,
As of the recording of this, PewDiePie's at like 45 million subscribers, something insane like that. Billions of views, right? But and it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see that, and when you start a new channel, because like everybody starts somewhere, right? And it takes commitment to just kind of grow your channel out the way you want it and build the kind of community you want, and stay true to whatever vision you have for it, and probably look up some more milestone videos, get inspired to keep doing these. And that's it for now. XEI out. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire. Peace, everybody.
Mission statement. What's the outro here?
Searching for
that's the new video. So let me go back one. This is great what YouTube does now. So it's like, because I mentioned them, Look at that. It's like, hey, you mentioned these two people. That immediately gave me an idea of content I could do where I'm talking about some smaller channels that I have dossiers on for the last 4 years or so. I stopped doing them about a year ago, but maybe I do this again because, hey, if you mention them, you get to send people their way. Not like these creators need people to be sent their way, but hey, you know what? It does give me an idea. I have a comment in here. Let's see what it says. Dude, that was 7 years ago. That was 1 year ago. Crazy how time flies. I wonder if Horgos is still around. 3 comments, and it was a year ago. So a user decided to go and look up all of the old vlogs. So I might have. Is this public? Yeah, this was public. That's right. I was like, how do they get access to this? Okay, yeah, this is a public video. We're gonna wrap this one up. And I was at the 30-minute mark, and I managed to get to the 45-minute mark on a 1 minute and a half video. Of milestone number 1 is all I wanted to add to this before cutting it off. Those are my meandering thoughts along the way. Part 1 of this retrospective as I go through the very earliest channel update vlogs and just get some perspective on the full circle journey. I just mentioned the hero's journey right now, and I do feel like that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in that last, like the Act 3 stage, where there's like this symbolic death in the Act 2 to Act 3 moment. And then in the Act 3 is like the heroes confronted a bunch of the antagonists and the minions along the way. And then you come out of that and you kind of reach your transformation stage, Like the hero is transforming into someone new, the same, but new. Because they're returning back to the beginning and kind of reviewing, like their entire world changes at that moment and the way that they see things and want to proceed. I'm like the hero of my own story. We are all heroes of our own story. Keep that in mind. Believe in yourself. Have a clear goal in mind as to what you want to achieve, and then you just chip away at it. And it doesn't always have to succeed, and it can still be considered a success because you have the right vision in mind as you take the steps along on that journey. So hopefully you enjoyed this retrospective. I'm still going to keep doing them if you didn't. I'm saying, what I gotta be snarky about? I can't help it sometimes. But in all honesty, I appreciate your time. And for those of you who are new on this channel and you don't know the history along the way, not that it really matters. I'm not important, This is for me. But if people want to kind of get a behind the scenes look at the history and the evolution and my thinking along the way, then yeah, this series is for you. If it's not for you, then that's cool too. You know what I mean? I mean, if you got to this point, I don't know if it's not for you. How are you hearing me say these words? Yeah. So thanks again, everybody who's been along with this journey. I really have enjoyed my time on YouTube. I do feel like there's still a journey that I'm on, and just because I feel like I'm in an Act 3, a Phase 4, an end of a hero journey part of my story for this channel, I do feel like it doesn't mean it's the end. It means that the end becomes a new beginning, and then this turns into something else either this year or in 2026, whenever it is that the next gates unlock, right? This doesn't have to be a single book, for example. It could be a trilogy. For all it matters, like, I don't know, right? I'm getting older, and I want to find a new way to approach things and make sure that I'm sharing things that help people explore, engage, and inspire. Peace, everybody.